how are we feeling? It's that time again. I missed y'all last week. Thank you all for being understanding that I take weeks off occasionally. Last week was a work week. A couple weeks ago, I took a week off for my birthday, and I'm going to tell y'all, I'm a recovering workaholic, and taking a week off of anything I've committed to is hard for me. Last week, it was because I was doing other work, and there was literally no way to make it work. I was gigging all day. I'm a musician. This is my busy time of year. Anyway, I'm really glad to be able to come back here. I really love this community we have every Saturday. I love getting to share with you and be vulnerable with you and hang out with you and support each other together. Hey, Ondine, how you doing? So good to see you. So as always, I'm going to share this broadcast in one or two places. I'll be reading with you today with the Everyday Witch Tarot. Really great, really accessible tarot. People often ask me if they want to get started reading tarot, what's a good deck to use? And my first piece of advice is a deck you love. You know, like a deck that the artwork makes you go, I love this. Because that excitement is going to carry you through the learning curve, which is pretty real, you know. And my second piece of advice is a deck that is a little more simple. I wouldn't recommend something like Shadowscapes as a first deck because the artwork, well, it's very lush and beautiful. And a lot of people love it, and I'm one of them. I think it's a great, beautiful deck. It's very nuanced. It's very layered. You can learn on any tarot deck that you want, but you're going to learn quicker if you have somewhat simple imagery that immediately connects you with the meaning of the card. So Rider-Waite, there's a reason it's a classic, really does that. Everyday Witch, which really is a Rider-Waite type of deck, just with different art style, also does that. It's a beautiful, simple deck. If anyone is ever getting a deck for themselves and wants a recommendation, let me know. I'm a nerd. That stuff is my jam. So let me get this deck going for us. Love this deck. Beautiful, like witchy background over here with the broom and the hat and the cat. Like, yes, like, come on. It's everything you want. At least if you are me. Also beautiful. I was out with Susanna from Anti-Fragile Tarot the other day. We had like just a witchy meetup in the city, and we were talking about, I was telling her how I really like getting a full kit now, and I didn't always feel that way. Like, not just the deck, but like the full kit with the book and everything. And this particular kit is obviously like a publishing option that is somewhat popular right now because I've seen it a few places. It's got like this nice, solid, you know, kind of hardback box to contain the thing, and it's got this beautiful book, which is friggin' full color. Like, it's a gorgeous book, really nice paper stock and full color experience, and I love it. And Susanna was like, yeah, I just don't know where I'm going to keep all that stuff. And I'm like, fair. Anyway, different strokes. You know what I'm saying? Two tarot readers who really have a lot of experience and strong opinions were out the other day. And we were talking about it, and it was fun. Anyway, let's see. I see a couple people in the chat. Hello, Judith. Hello, Patty Bell. I see some cats in the chat. Meow. Meow right back at you, everybody. Ondine says, oh, girl, you're wearing a Delia short. Yes, I sure am. This is, if you are not familiar with my cousin, Delia Stanley, well, you ought to be, because she's just amazing. She is the one who started Monday Night Muses. I am carrying the torch for her, if you're aware of my Monday night live stream. And she's an artist and a musician. This is the album art for her Broke Down EP, which you can find on Bandcamp. DeliaStanley.bandcamp.com. Delia's super awesome, wonderful. Her art is crazy. She's also got a really cool spooky style shop right now called Pretty Creepy. It's with IE, so PRETTIE CREEPIE, Pretty Creepy. And it's like everything there is exactly what you want to wear during spooky season, so I highly recommend it. All right, so this is the deck I will be reading with today. It is the Everyday Witch Tarot. I'm going to lay down some ground rules / information for you all. Every Saturday, I go live at 11 a.m. my time. I'm on Eastern time, so that's 8 a.m. Pacific time. It's 4 p.m. UK time, I'm pretty sure. It's other times in other places. And I read for as many people as I can get to within the hour. I have a hard stop at the end of the hour. I offer these readings freely. If you enjoy them, if they bring some meaning into your life, if you would like to support what I do, you can. I have a virtual tip jar, which is... oh, it's not up. I should put it up right now. I have a virtual tip jar, which is about to be scrolling across the bottom on my little banner. And there we go. And that's something you can do if you want to support this work. Venmo at Rory Kelly or paypal.com or paypal.me/Rory Kelly. If you wish to support this work financially, you can, and I love you and I appreciate it. If you don't or you can't, that's okay, because I offer these readings as a gift to the community every week. If you want to get a larger reading with me, you absolutely can. My shop is etsy.com/shop/Sassafras Tarot. If you're watching on Instagram, all of those links are in my bio, under my main bio link. And if you're watching everywhere else, you can see that scrolling across the bottom. I'm about to drop it in the comments as well. I just added a new reading that's not in the shop yet. It's called Good, Bad, Ugly, Beautiful, which I made custom for a client who wanted it. I really like it. I think I'm going to offer it publicly. And that's something I do. If you ever need like a custom reading and you're like, Rory, here's what's going on, just tell me. Tell me what kind of reading I should get. I'm really happy to. And if you really crazy enjoy this, you can subscribe to my podcast, Sassafras Cast, which happens once a month. There will be an October episode. It's going to be a special, it's going to be a departure from my witchy stuff and just be a super spoopy episode. I'm going to share some crowdsourced paranormal stories, which leads me to ask you if anyone has any paranormal stories they would like to share. Please message me because I want to share it on Sassafras Cast. So please talk to me. Oh, thank you, Ondine. Ondine just popped into the comments on Instagram, deliastanley.bandcamp.com. Thank you for sharing her link. Share it early and often. Delia is awesome. I see a couple more people popping in. Hey, Grayson, how are you? Thank you so much for tuning in. So if you're tuned in and you would like a reading from me, the secret code that we use is dropping a cat emoji in the chat or writing the word meow. That way I know to pull a card for you. The reason we use that secret code is because when I first started this, I was saying, oh, just let me know if you want me to pull a card. As soon as people say pull a card for me, we got big time spammers in the chat. So I don't do that anymore. I just tell people, hey, drop a cat emoji in the chat or write the word meow. It's also delightful because cats, you know? Hey, Mary Jane, so good to see you. Haiku But Make It Tarot. Hello. Everyone, please follow Haiku But Make It Tarot. Really great account that you will be glad to have in your life. I see some cats in the chat. Hello, Emily. It's so good to see you. How are you? I'm going to get started shuffling right now. Let's see. Have I told you all the things I need to tell you this morning? Gosh, I think so. And if you do have a particular question you want me to read for, let me know. You know, let me know when you drop your cat or right after or whatever and say, hey, Rory, this is what I want to hear about. And I will happily focus your reading on that. I do 1 card pulls for everyone right up until the top of the hour. So as many as I can get to in the hour. That is my commitment to you. And I offer it freely to be nifty and have fun with you guys. And if anyone wants to support me, you absolutely can. There's a virtual tip jar link in my bio on Instagram, scrolling across the bottom on Facebook. Hello, Shashvat. Good to see you. I see you dropping a cat in there. Several very cute cats. Hello, Christina. It's good to see you too. We have a couple of new viewers today. That's so lovely. Shashvat, I know I've read for you before. Yes, absolutely. I'll get you on the list. We've got a couple of cards I need to pull for people. We've got a bunch of people asking for cats today, so I am glad. I'm delighted. I've been asking y'all if you can to please share with a friend, tell a friend, let people know. And it's clear that people have been, and I'm very grateful. So thank you so much for that. All right, let me pull our card for today. This is a card for everyone generally. I also want to give you some general information before I read this card. Mercury is in retrograde right now. Matter of fact, a whole bunch of things are in retrograde right now. And we have a couple of resident astrologers in the comments. I will let you, feel free to drop some comments in there and expound. But what I'm here to tell you is that Mercury in retrograde means travel, communications, technology. Those things tend to get a little hairy, let's say. And I've definitely been feeling it. I had a friend actually say in a meeting I was in earlier today, oh, I always love Mercury retrograde. I hear from people that I haven't heard from in a long time. Like, he's got this totally cool attitude of like, oh, it's great. It's a chance to reconnect. It really is. And related, in that same meeting, it's an accountability meeting. We did a retrospective together. We've been doing this for a whole year where we show up and help each other in our careers and just show up for each other and cheer each other on. It was a retrospective, and we were like, let's review what we've all accomplished in the last year, which is a wonderful activity for Mercury retrograde. Like, that is exactly the kind of activity that Mercury retrograde is perfect for. Review, people always say words that start with RE, review, retrospective, reconnoiter, recreate, reconsider. Anything that has you take a look at your past and allows you to reevaluate a little bit, perhaps make some better choices. That is what Mercury retrograde is designed to do. It's designed to be helpful. It can feel like the kind of help that's like, ooh, I didn't want the help that way. It can definitely feel like that occasionally. But that's life. So Mercury's in retrograde for the next couple of weeks. A bunch of other planets are in retrograde too, meaning that lots of areas of our life are in flux right now. And by in flux, I mean we are having to review decisions we've made in the past, things that we thought foundations that we thought were stable foundations that we could rely on that either are just not suiting, like not meeting our needs anymore, or turned out to not be as stable as we thought. And it is a time right now, in a very big way, to it's time to reconsider. It's time to make changes if we know changes need to be made. It's time to go right ahead and do that. Yeah. Okay. See a couple of comments. I see a couple people. Shashvat has asked for a particular thing, reading about marriage. That's so cool. I will absolutely pull a card about that. If you have a particular thing you want me to read for you on, please let me know. Here is our card collectively for the whole week. It's the 9 of Pentacles. What a lovely card. And really nice after I just did like a money manifesting challenge last month. It was really fun and exciting. And 9 of Pentacles really is, it's not a card about resting on your laurels. It is a card about taking a break and appreciating all that you have accomplished. This is a card about being thankful to yourself. I talk a lot about gratitude, and I really believe gratitude is an important practice for like mental health and happiness. And honestly, our ability to move forward. It feels weird to keep trying to get more things happening when we're not grateful for what we already have, right? That's a little iffy. 9 of Pentacles really is about sitting down and taking stock and appreciating what we have created in our lives. Specifically, it is about gratitude to ourselves. In what ways have we created, systems and circumstances that serve us? In what ways have we built ourselves up? And I know a couple of the people I know in the chat, I'm going to go ahead and call you out personally because I think you're badasses. I know Emily has done a lot of building of herself, a lot of super awesome adulting and hard work to level up in the last year. I know Judith has, I know Ondine has, I know Patty Bell has. Honestly, maybe all y'all have now that I think about it. A lot of us have made these big, powerful changes in our lives. Now is a good time, this week in particular, is a good time for us to reflect and appreciate ourselves and be like, thanks me, good job. It's a good time for us to even, the word I want to use is luxuriate in what we have created in our lives. Luxuriate in it. Soak it up like your life is a bubble bath and you drew yourself an amazing bath, and it's time to appreciate that. It's not a week necessarily. Excuse me, that was like a weird hiccup. It's not a week necessarily to push forward. The moon is also waning right now. We have a new moon coming up. This is a time to take good care of yourself, to celebrate yourself, to honor yourself, and own yourself. Appreciate what you have created for yourself. Trust that by doing this, by taking this pause to do this, to look back and be thankful for you, you are paving the way to create new things in your life. Because the other thing that this does is it teaches us our skills and our strengths. And when we focus on our strengths instead of our weaknesses, we are able to knock new things out of the park. We're able to be like, oh, you know what? Here's something I've succeeded in. I'm good at doing this, that, or the other thing. I know one of you who's on there now says like social media is my superpower, right? That's something you can rely on to do all the things. So anything you're doing, any new thing you're doing, you can identify as you like look back and appreciate yourself what your strengths are. And you can say, here are my strengths. How can I apply my strengths to this situation? Oftentimes we get caught up in like trying to correct our weaknesses. We feel like that's a moral obligation, I think, a little bit when we play to our strengths. Instead, we allow ourselves to just like be the best us that we can be and celebrate what's good about us and knock it out of the park. So honor and own your strengths this week. Coffee time. Hydration checkpoint, everybody, or caffeination checkpoint for me this morning. Love and Nine of Pentacles says haiku, but make it tarot. Yeah, it's a good vibe. All right. I know that Ondine is the first person. I'm going to get right into these cards because I've got a bunch of people to read for this morning. Thank you all so much for coming to the Witchy Weather Report. You guys are the best. I'm going to get right into these cards. The first card I am pulling is for Ondine. And I'm gonna do some shuffling for you. I'm reading from the Everyday Witch Tarot by Deborah Blake, illustrated by Elizabeth Alba, which, by the way, you can get, I was about to show you, but I'm literally on my cell phone right now for Instagram. You can get some really neat things. I think it's Redbubble. If you search for Elizabeth Alba, the artist who did Everyday Witch Tarot, this stuff, Elizabeth Alba, and it's spelled Elizabeth with an S, so Elisabeth, Elizabeth Alba, ALBA is her last name. Has like a Redbubble shop, so you can like get her artwork on like shirts or cell phone cases or tote bags. I have, in fact, a Nine of Pentacles cell phone case with that artwork, with the Everyday Witch artwork, and I love it. So now you know. Anyway, here is your card, Ondine. Your card is the Eight of Cups. It is time to say goodbye in faith. In faith that you will be opening up something better for yourself. I just had an experience like this. Some of you know because I texted you about it yesterday, where I closed the door on something that wasn't working for me, that felt like it was exploitive. And I honestly did it in faith that I would create new opportunities for myself, that freeing myself up by doing this would allow me to rise stronger. And I say faith because often we don't know what window closing a door will open up, right? We don't know what will happen. We know that we will perhaps get more free time. We know that we won't have certain things maybe hammering on our boundaries anymore, but we don't know what good will come out of it. It's a leap of faith. And you are being called upon to do a leap of faith again and acknowledge what isn't working. These cups on the Eight of Cups really represent like, and this is an explanation, by the way, by Susanna of Anti-Fragile Tarot, another great tarot podcaster. You tried to stack these cups so many times. No matter how you stack them, it doesn't work. You've tried to make it work. It hasn't worked, right? You've done your best. You've done everything on your end that you can. But because when we take 100% responsibility, that means for our end of a situation. When we take someone else's responsibility and try to make their end work, that is called overworking our end. If you've done everything you can on your end and you're ready to say, you know what, I tried. It's time to cut my losses and walk away. This is what that card represents. And so what that represents for you, Ondine, is like moving forward, knowing you did your best. Allowing that to be enough. Sometimes we don't get the closure we really want. Because honestly, if a crappy situation, I'm going to just lay down some truth here for everybody because I often get people requesting readings about an ex, about will they call again? I don't want to get back together. I just want closure. I have to tell you, when you have to walk away from a situation, it's very unlikely that you're going to get good, satisfying closure, because if you were going to get good, satisfying closure, then perhaps other things in that relationship or situation would have been satisfying, right? The reason you walked away is because you were not getting your needs met. So it's unlikely when you walk away that you're going to get the closure you desire. You have to create closure for yourself. And for now, closure for yourself can look like, I did my best. I can feel good about that. And I can take these strengths and these resources, again, a good time to review your strengths and resources. What have you used to try to make this situation work? I can try to use them now for something new that will serve me and nourish me better. I can go where I am celebrated rather than tolerated. And that is the Eight of Cups, my dear. Ondine says, seriously, so relatable, and also says, with a cat. Yes, that's what's wonderful about this deck, is everything is with a cat. Also, she asked a question, is that part of the tarot kit I was talking about? No, it was not. That was just me being a fangirl. So the kit, when you get some, you can get either usually a deck of cards, just a deck in a box when you buy a tarot deck, or you can get the kit with like a book, a little guidebook and a nice little, holder thingy. I like to get the kit when I can. My bookshelves have a different opinion about it. They're a little bit bursting. But no, I bought the Nine of Pentacles Everyday Witch cell phone case just because I like it so much. Just because I was looking at this card and I'm like, I just want, honestly, like a bad boss bitch cell phone case that's also witchy. And Nine of Pentacles from Everyday Witch really spoke to it for me. So that is why. Okay. We've got a couple of people. I'm going to do Judith, then Patty Bell, then go back to Instagram and see who's meowing on the Instagram. Hey, Hannah, so good to see you. Thank you for tuning in. Ondine says that is seriously a good point. Thank you. Oh, my niece is interested in tarot. Oh, I love that. I am the witch, and I'm the person who's like, yes, like my niece is a little, very small human. She just started kindergarten. My nephew just started third grade. If either of them got excited about tarot, I'd be like, oh God, we're going to go on a field trip. It might be a few years before that's even a likelihood. Oh, I love that. So you're thinking about maybe getting a deck for your niece. That's a really, Everyday Witch, I have to say, is a great starter deck. But yeah. Oh my gosh, I'd be taking my niece on a field trip like crazy. I'd be going to enchantments or something in the city. All right. Ruby, happy birthday. Birthday witchy card for me today. Ruby, I'm going to move you up because it's your friggin' birthday. Everybody please send some birthday love to Ruby. Everyone send some good vibes for this to be a beautiful, beautiful, special year full of growth and delightful surprises for Ruby. Delightful surprises, not crappy ones. All right, Ruby, here's your birthday card. Don't worry, I'll get back into the flow of who asked in what order later. Birthday people get to jump the line. That's my opinion. And don't lie and tell me it's your birthday. Don't do that to the witch. That's not nice. Ruby, your card is the Eight of Pentacles. This is about you, baby. This is about you stirring up what you want in your life. I know you have been doing a great deal of work around this. It's time, at this point, you should have some confidence. And in case you missed it, the card that I pulled for everyone this week was the Nine of Pentacles, which is a time to sit back and reflect on what good you've brought in your life, what you have created, what you have been able to create for yourself in your life, and honestly luxuriate in it. It's a time to be deeply thankful to yourself. It's a time to give yourself self-care and like honor yourself and just be like, good job, just like kick back with a glass of wine and a bubble bath and be like, I've earned this, because you have. The Eight of Pentacles is about you having your confidence, being in your power and in your confidence as you are making moves towards creating the life you want. This especially looks like your career. It especially looks like family and household matters, because Pentacles are about the things that keep us grounded, and our family and chosen family falls under that category, as well as our home, And it's time, because you've done so much self-work over the last year. You now have an opportunity to do that in a really smart, strategic way. So I urge you to take that pause. Take that Nine of Pentacles pause where you're thankful for yourself, where you look back at all you've accomplished over the last year. And then when you've been appreciative of your strength, be like, now how am I going to take all of this badass strength and resourcefulness and apply it to creating exactly what I want? Because I have the self-knowledge to do this in a really targeted, directed way at this time. That is where you're at right now. And probably if you're anything like me on my birthday, you're in that mindset, right? Of like, what am I going to create this year? What is this year going to bring me? What am I going to bring this year? And so that's a great way to do it, is to first look at all your accomplishments of the last year, appreciate yourself, honor yourself, and then say, look at all that strength, all that resourcefulness. How am I going to turn those skills on exactly what I want? I love it. Couldn't have asked for a better birthday card. Okay, so I know you're on Facebook, so you're seeing the Facebook wishes. However, I want to let you know, over on Instagram, Haiku But Make It Tarot says, happy birthday, Ruby, with 3 green hearts. Mary Jane says, happy birthday, Ruby, with a little confetti hat. And Ondine says, happy birthday, Ruby, with a little sparkle heart. Oh no, and now I've like touched the thing and Instagram thinks I want to make a comment. I don't want to make a comment. Calm down, Instagram. Hi, Savannah. Thank you so much for tuning in. It's so good to see you. Okay. All right. Judith and Patty Bell. And then I know a lot of you have dropped a cat in the chat. Don't worry. I'll get to you. And by the way, if you're running around or something and you're like, oh no, I'm not sure I'm going to make my card. There's a replay of this and I post it. So don't worry. Wherever you are watching, there will be a replay as soon as this is done, as soon as the video processes or whatever. So don't stress. You're good. Don't stress. Don't stress. The tarot is for all of us. It's a No Doubt song. I do that sometimes. Okay. Judith. This is your card, my dear. The Magician. Okay, this is funny based on the conversation you and I had yesterday, Judith. Judith, it is time for you to step into magician mode, having had your personal fool's journey, having had your moment of figuring out, as you described it to me, what the hell is in your fool's pack? What are your tools? What is possible for you? And now it's time for you to step into being the agent of your own transformation, doing the thing, because you now know what you want to do. You now know what bag of tricks you have in order to do it. And the universe is like, yes, very good, Judith. You get a cookie. You're the magician now. Do the thing. That is all I will say to you. I think this is like, I have to say, I've been having a lot of little cosmic coincidences lately. This is definitely a cosmic coincidence. Judith and I had a long phone conversation yesterday. We talked about the Fool leading into the Magician. And yeah, do the thing. Good morning, Ted. Thank you for tuning in. Looks like Hannah's dropping a cat. Everyone is dropping a cat. Don't worry, I'll get to you. We have a lot of cats this morning. So I'm trying to read fast. I'm also, hang on though, I need some coffee. Caffeination checkpoint and or hydration checkpoint. Oh, Instagram friend, Ruby says, thank you for all of the love and the wishes. Okay, my loves. Time for you, Patty Bell. Then I know I got a bunch more people. Don't worry. I'll get to ya. Oh, and while everyone's watching, because I see it, we have like a high number of people tuned in, I'm going to be doing an extra special episode of Sassafras Cast this month. What is Sassafras Cast? It is my monthly podcast. It's a cool witchy podcast. It's not unlike the vibe of the Witchy Weather Report, but it's more serious. It's like I cover a topic every month in depth, give you my experiences with that topic, and also give you like breakdown for you practical, actionable ways you can harness this power in your life right now, because I'm all about people walking away from my podcast like, I'm going to try this, and feeling like they have the tools to do that. This month, however, it's spooky season. It's October. It's Halloween. So I am doing a super special, super spoopy podcast episode of Sassafras Cast this month, where I will be sharing listener stories of the paranormal. What experiences have you had that are like, feel like a cosmic glitch or a paranormal experience or a brush with, the other side of the veil? Whatever bell is ringing in your mind as I talk about that. If you would like me to share it in the podcast, probably with some cool background music, please, 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 please talk to me. I'm collecting stories to share on the podcast. If you haven't listened, subscribe, Sassafras Cast. You can see, I think, how to spell it running across the bottom there. Ooh, Patty Bell says, ooh, I have some. Anna, absolutely. You're on deck. You're on like a lot of decks, but you're in there. Don't worry. Oh, Hannah says, finally listened to the Money Magic episode yesterday. I am now psyched to heal my relationship with money. Oh my God. Thank you. Also, thank you, because I will tell you, I had some, I don't know if I would call it imposter syndrome or just anxiety. I released a Money Magic episode in September. If you haven't listened to it, please go listen to it, because I literally did a brain dump and in as organized way as I could about all of my experiences with money magic, which is plentiful. Like, I started as a money witch because my goals are career goals, and money is a part of that for me. As a freelancer, I have to think about money. I don't get the luxury of not thinking about it in my career. So I did a lot of sharing in that episode. And I also did a little bit of a lecture about how we relate to money and money being a consensual reality and all of these things. And I got done and I'm like, Rory, did you miss the mark on that one? Do people just want to friggin' hear about putting peppermint in their wallet, you know, or whatever? And you like gave them a lecture about their inner child. So it's a little of both. There's definitely some real psychological work, I think, that a lot of us can do around money that will really benefit us and will make our money magic better. And I didn't hold back. I really talked about that. And I also talked about 30 ways that you can work with money magic and my own experiences on each one. So I hope you will listen to that episode if you haven't already. It's out right now. Sassafras Cast, everywhere you listen to podcasts. Okay. Patty Bell. Oh, wow, I love it. Hannah says, no, that totally helped me reframe. Thank you. Good. That is my goal. Because I honestly, sometimes when you learn deeply, deeply about a topic and do the shadow work around it and all that, which is like a journey I've been on for a few years with money now. I'm not saying I know more than everyone else. I'm not saying I know more than anyone else. I'm just saying I've been working on it. I've learned some things that helped me, you know? And sometimes you realize the things that are really going to move the needle are not the things people want it to be. People want the quick fix. People are like, yeah, just tell me how to like light a candle and say a couple words and bring $1,000 into my bank account. You know, that's what people want to hear. And I'm here to tell you that doing the work makes all of that more effective. Doing that like inner work, you know, with your relationship with money makes it more possible. Sorry, I know that's boring. Okay, Patty Bell, this card is for you. Ace of Swords. Oh my gosh, Patty Bell. What a perfect card for you right now. Ace of Swords really is about taking the leap, communicating a new idea, having an epiphany, and running with it. And I hope it's okay, Patty Bell, that I share this publicly. Patty Bell just launched an Indiegogo campaign for a new book and workshop of hers called Digital Detox. And it is all about practical ways that we can detox from the parts of the internet, the parts of social media that are dragging us down and stealing our time and stealing our happiness, while still doing what we need to do, right? Because the reality is a lot of us need the internet to do our livelihood. It's going to be really powerful. I'm really excited about it. I've already contributed. Patty Bell, I hope you will please drop the link to your Indiegogo campaign here in the chat for everyone to see. But anyway, Ace of Swords, like what a perfect card to get on the first day of your campaign for your new project. This is really like quick turnaround, inspiration to action. That is what the Ace of Swords is about. Possibility, possibility, possibility. New fresh start. So own it, soak it up, enjoy it. You already know what your path is right now because you have taken that first bold step. So just keep walking it because you're on the right track. Oh, I love it. Patty Bell says, yes, conscious moderation. Exactly. Okay. Let me see. I know I've got a bunch of people to read for. I'm going to pick up my phone for a minute so I can scroll through the Instagrams and see who has dropped cats. Let's see. I see Mary Jane. Haiku But Make a Tarot. Let's see if there's anyone else. Hannah Westlock. Okay, that's my Instagram peeps. I'm going to do Mary Jane, Haiku But Make a Tarot, Hannah Westlock. Then I'm going to get back over to the Facebook peeps and I'm going to read your cards. Don't worry. If you dropped a cat, I got the comments. I got you. Now the Instagram is at a new and different angle. I hope you like it. Maybe it's better. I don't know. Mary Jane, I'm pulling a card for you. As always, everyone, if you have a particular question you'd like me to read on, let me know, or topic, area of your life, whatever, let me know. I got you. Okay, here is your card, Mary Jane. Mary Jane, the Lovers. This is not the first time you've gotten this card. Here's what I want to ask you right now with this card, Mary Jane, because I think this card has related to your art life in the past, not just to your romance life, but to your life as a creator, as a creative, I want to ask you what it is that is moving you right now. And if you're resisting committing deeply to it, if you're maybe telling yourself all the things that many of us tell ourselves, like, I don't have time, I have to focus on more grown-up things, whatever that means, like, I'm not the right age, it's not the right time, there's too much going on, whatever, it feels hard right now to make the time. Not all our objections are about time. Sometimes it's about money. Sometimes it's just about bandwidth, not knowing how you'll do it, not knowing what the first step should be. And I want to encourage you, Mary Jane, to ask yourself, what is lighting that spark? Because you are feeling a passion right now. And can you commit to it more deeply? Can you say, yes, I will honor it. I will date this passion. I will take it out for dinner and a movie, and maybe take it home with me that night. Can you honor the hell out of this passion? Can you commit to making it a part of you because it is important, because it's that important to you? Can you take a further step of commitment to it? Just one step, just to deepen your relationship a little bit. Mary Jane says, moving slowly like a deer in headlights. Boy, can I relate to that. But you know what? If you're moving slowly, you're still moving. I'm here for it. Whatever pace our movement takes, as long as we're moving. Haiku but Make It Tarot, you are next. Then Hannah Westlock is on deck. And then some other folks. Thank you for tuning in, everyone, to the Witchy Weather Report. I love doing this with you every Saturday. Haiku but Make It Tarot, the High Priestess. Let's talk about your intuition, baby. Let's talk, for starters, the High Priestess, as someone, because I know you're obviously a tarot practitioner, the High Priestess can sometimes indicate to us that it's time to look deeper in our intuition, either with a practice we haven't explored or haven't explored fully. It's come up for me when it was time to do a little more dream work, which is something I've been doing my whole life, but not always intentionally. It's just been like a pleasant backdrop to my life that my dreams have always been super meaningful to me. And the High Priestess can mean like it's time to dive deeper into that thing that you've been using more casually, that you've been perhaps dabbling in. This has potential for you, in other words. It can just mean that you have some relating to do with your intuition, that if you shut up and listen for a little while, in whatever way works for you, whether that's meditation, getting in nature, just giving yourself some quiet time, writing, journaling, whatever, that there is information to be had, that your subconscious and or your intuition is like, hi, I have a message for you, sir. Message for you, ma'am. Message for you, non-gendered individually. I've been trying to, not make my speech super gendered. Anyway, check it out. The High Priestess really, really is about you turning inward, you checking on your own inner wisdom in whatever way works for you. If there's a way that you're like, this is the way I always access it, do that. If there's a way that you're like, this is a way I've been dabbling with a little bit and maybe I could go deeper, well, then it's a signal, yes, go deeper. It is that time. Go for it. Cool. I love it. Hannah Westlock, card for you. That's everyone I see on Instagram. If you are watching on Instagram and you'd like me to read a card for you and I haven't yet, drop a cat in the chat because I might have missed it, but I think I got everyone. Hannah, I'm pulling your card right now. Hannah, your card is the King of Wands. Okay, where are you going and what are you waiting for? These are my two questions. The first one is just a inventory, personal check-in. Where are you headed? Where do you want to be? And the second question is a little bit of a fire under your ass. What are you waiting for? Because the King of Wands indicates that you are the one who should be driving this bus. You are the one who has the power to chart your course. If you're waiting for permission, someone else to navigate, help, someone else to be like, here's the path for you. Here's the map. You are the map. You are the path. You are the navigator. You are the permission giver. It is time for you to give yourself permission to move forward powerfully with what you want. You may be saying to yourself, but other people are involved in this, Rory. Like, I can't just call the shots. And I'm here to tell you, actually, yes, you can. We can call the shots about things in our lives that are important to us. And I'm sure you have people in your life who have come to you and said, hey, you know what? This is very important to me. this is how it has to be. This is something I'm doing, and this is how I need your support. And I'm sure that when you care deeply about that person, you've been like, yeah, you got it, man. Good for you. So it's time for you to call the shots about your personal journey. It's time for you to point to where you want to be on the map, whether that's a literal location or whether that's a point in the future that you are, reaching towards a goal, and say it's time to chart the course. And it's okay if you don't know the exact course, right? It's okay if you don't have like one of those old school triptychs from AAA that like shows you the map in little tiny segments. Am I old for saying that? If you don't exactly know where you're going, if you don't have the Waze navigator at your shoulder telling you where to go, it's all right. Because all you need to do is assess, where am I? Where is the goal? And take one step closer. And then when you have taken that step, you do the same thing again, right? You're like, okay, where am I? Where's the goal? One step closer. That's how to do it. That's how the road rolls out behind you. And yes, you get to say yes to this. Yes, you get to lay down the law. Yes, you get to decide which direction you're headed. You are the navigator. Do the thing. Pretty please. Okay, I see some new comments on Facebook. Oh, I messed up my shuffle a little bit. Okay. Hello, I am Nariman, 12/8/2001. My fiance, Ahmed, I'm asking if there's a marriage and when. I will put you on the list to get a card. There's definitely some folks ahead of you, but I should be able to get to you. I will let you know, tarot is usually not the thing I consult for. Actually, I'll tell you in general, I don't usually consult particularly for like, will this happen and what day and time will it happen? Because we have a little thing called free will. So as soon as I say, here's when this is set to happen, the stars are aligned, anything can happen, right? Someone can sneeze, you can change your mind, right? Any of those things can happen. And that changes it. So I tend to read more along the lines of like, if it's a goal, it's like, what can I do to edge this forward? You know what I mean? And certainly like, is there a potential? I think that's a really good question to ask the tarot. So I will absolutely pull a card for you around that topic. I've got some people ahead of you, but I will absolutely get to you. This is a good time to let you know, my friends, I offer these readings freely every week at Saturday. Tell a friend, come hang out with me starting at 11 a.m. Eastern time. And I offer them freely. If you really love what I do and you want to support my work, you can. There's a virtual tip jar. It's scrolling across the bottom right now if you're watching on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. If you're on Instagram, it is in my link in my bio. You can also order full readings from me if you want to. If you want more in depth than one tarot card, you can. Etsy.com/shop/Sassafras Tarot. All one word, I think is how it is. Sassafras Tarot. Yeah, I would love to read for you further. Anyway, let's see. I know I got some more people. Okay. Grayson. Christina. Shashvat, Emily, and is there anyone else? Oh, you got Ruby. Just looking to see. Okay, I've got a few people, so that's who I'll take at the moment. Grayson, Christina, Shashvat, Emily, and then I know I have a few more. Don't worry, I'll scroll back up and find y'all. Grayson, pulling a card for you, my friend. Oh, Hannah says, do the thing. That's perfect. Thanks. You're welcome. And good luck with the thing. You have many skills and resources, and I feel you will do well. Grayson, here is your card. Your card is the 8 of Cups. Second time this card's come up this week. 8 of Cups means it is time to say a wise and knowing goodbye. And what I mean by that is this is about knowing yourself. It is about knowing when you have put in all that you can. You've done things to the best of your ability, and it's no longer about you pushing harder to make it work. You have already done that. It's no longer time to overwork your end of things. It's time to accept that you did your best. For whatever reason, the situation either didn't work out or has stopped working out, right? Sometimes there's a situation that was great, a relationship, a work situation, whatever, that felt really good, and then whatever, 6 months later, things change, people change, maybe you change, right? Anything can change, and it's no longer feeling as good, and it's okay. This card is telling you it's okay to walk away. It's okay to make a goodbye. It's okay if it's messy. It's okay if it feels unfinished, if all the loose ends aren't tied up. because doing so will allow you to move forward into something better, and it requires a leap of faith. It always does. The Eight of Cups is a leap of faith that whatever you're saying goodbye to will open up space in your life for something that serves you better. And it generally does, especially if you approach it that way. If you approach it, here we are, taking the leap of faith. You don't have to say it in a Muppet voice like that. Grayson says, my job ends this week. The owner is retiring. Well, here we are. That feels like a big Eight of Cups moment. It's probably pretty bittersweet. I know that job has been like really cool for you because it's like so entwined with something you love. And I hope that I hope that the space it creates in your life is filled up with something really special and, something that really serves you. Okay. Who is next? This is what I do to myself. Let me scroll back up. I knew I was pushing it, trying to remember 4 names in a row. I knew I was pushing it. Christina, I hope you're tuned in still. If not, you can if you drop a cat and you don't have a chance to like stay and wait for your reading because you have people ahead of you, it's okay. Like there's a replay. I'll get to you and you'll hear it then when you get a chance to watch the replay. Christina, this card is for you. And I think you're new to the Witchy Weather Report, so I just want to say thank you so much for tuning in. All right. Anna says, I switched on Facebook now. Welcome to Facebook, Anna. Hey, Jen Court, good to see you. Thank you for tuning in. Okay, Christina, here is your card. Your card is the Knight of Pentacles. It is time to move forward in a knightly way. It is time to embark on your quest, embark on your pursuit. And this might be a quest, probably something you're already aware of. It's not brand new. It is about creating the life you want. It is about creating stability in your life. That can look like financial stability. It can look like the stability of your health, of your body, right? Your strength and your resources. It can look like familial stability, the people in your life who are closest to you, who you interact with every day, having things stable in that area. It can look like stability in your home. This is something about you creating stability and resource for yourself. So your day-to-day life feels like it supports you rather than drains you. And right now you are on a quest to create some change in that area of your life. You're on a quest to create more stability, to build yourself up so that you feel that you can rely on your day-to-day life and you don't have to push so hard all the time. That said, you're willing to work right now. The Knight of Pentacles is a worker. The Knight of Pentacles is like, let's do this. I'm excited. We're gonna get this done. Use that energy. Move forward with that energy, and do the thing. I keep telling people to do the thing today. Use that energy. Trust that the best actions to take right now are practical actions. If you don't know the whole path right now, you don't have to know the whole path. You just have to know the next step. And if you don't know the exact, like, what's the right next step, just pick one, right? Pick something that you know would help. And just keep doing that every day. If you have 5 minutes, make it an easy step. If you have a couple hours, make it a step that's more involved. But every day, ask yourself, how can I move this forward? Because you're building stability in your life. And I'm telling you, that doesn't happen overnight. That happens with many small actions that build up over time. You can approach building stability in your life in a stable way, right? By showing up for it with the resources you have and the energy you have when you can consistently. Consistency is something that the Knight of Pentacles is great at. So, really wishing you luck on your journey. You have this burst of energy now. Use it. Enjoy it. Your timing is good. Okay, next I have Shashvat and then Emily. Shashvat is getting married soon. First of all, can I just say big congratulations? Can everyone put some love in the chat for Shashvat? Reading for my life after marriage. We'll be getting married soon. Everyone, please put some love for a wonderful life, a wonderful marriage, a happy and prosperous future for Shashvat. Okay, here's your card. It is the Page of Swords. So what this tells me is that your first experience, Judith says, there you are. Where was I? Was I somewhere else, Judith? I'm here. Don't worry. Oh, maybe you're talking to Anna. Okay, sorry. Shashvat, your card is the Page of Swords. You asked about life after marriage. Your first experience is you're going to need to learn what communication looks like between you and your spouse. What it looks like now that you are no longer two single people, but a team working together, yet you're still individual people with your own needs and desires. Probably also different styles of handling life, right? Different perspectives on what's important, different perspectives on how to go after things, on how to tackle a problem. And your first journey is going to be a communication journey. It's going to be feeling out what does it look like to be able to talk through these issues, decisions you would have made on your own, right? In the past, decisions that like, I'm going to consult with nobody because this is my choice. Now it becomes a group decision, right? Because it's you and your spouse. And you will learn the art of compromise. You will learn what it looks like to find ways for both of you to win. And that doesn't always look like one party sacrificing or both parties sacrificing a little. As you get to know each other, it will look like you understanding each other. So you understand, okay, my needs are this. My spouse's needs around this situation, I know them, and I know their needs are likely to involve this, that, and the other thing. As you get better at this, as you get to know each other better and more deeply, because nothing helps you get to know each other better than like living together and facing these questions day after day, you will learn naturally how to take care of each other. You will learn naturally without having to communicate and say everything aloud like, hey, I know what you need in the mornings. I know I'm the morning person and you're not the morning person, so I'm going to make the mornings easy for you. And I'm grumpy at night, so you're going to make night easy for me. Whatever it is, you know, you will learn those little things that you do for each other. But for right now, your first journey is like you're learning it all as you go. It's all new. So it's really going to be about communication. Communicate early and often. Even if you don't have the perfect words, even if you're not exactly sure what you mean to say, just start talking about it. Start a dialogue. The more you talk in these early stages, the better and better and better you will get to know each other and support each other. And I just want to wish so many blessings on your marriage. I'm so excited for you. Okay, Emily, I got a card for you, my darling. Thank you for tuning in, everybody. Emily, I'm pulling a card for you. I'm shuffling. Emily, here's your card. Your card is the Five of Swords. Let's talk about, honestly, let's talk about trash talking because there's a little bit of trash talking that is going to conspire this week. And a little bit, so I want to show you this card. First of all, we've got like 3 witches over a cauldron of something. There's swords flying out of it, and one of the witches is clearly happy. She's like, haha, I've got these swords flying out of the cauldron. And the other 2 were like, why did you do that? We weren't doing a swords flying out of the cauldron spell. Why? So whatever side you are on, if you are on the side of like, I have my own agenda and I recognize people might not like it, but it's important for me, or if you're on the side of like, wow, this person just took their own agenda and tried to make it the whole thing and screwed me over a little bit. What I'm here to recommend to you is communication early and often, but I also am going to recommend that you know yourself, know your needs, know your desires in this situation, and be ready to look out for number 1. Whenever the 5 of Swords comes up, it's time to look out for number 1. It doesn't mean you have to be like a cutthroat jerk. Please don't do that. If you find that you're like knee jerk doing that all the time, that's a time to either reevaluate the relationship or reevaluate yourself. If there's maybe a story you're telling yourself that isn't relevant anymore, and maybe you have some growth to do around that, you know. But it's time to know what you need. Honestly, what your needs are from a situation as well as your wants, because wants are important too. And it's time to evaluate in a kind of analytical way, a less emotional way, a more analytical way, how you can get those needs and wants met. Because it is probably going to be like emotionally like tweaking you a little bit. It's helpful to be very analytical at this time. Oh. Emily says, why? No swords. I know. I'm sorry. To cheer you up, though, I just want to show you how at the bottom of this card. There are 3 cats, like reading a spell book together. Look how adorable that is. Oh my gosh. Emily says, boo. I know, I'm sorry. Hey, it's by far not the worst sword you could get. I did a reading for Susanna the other day when we had our witch date. Susanna from Anti-Fragile Tarot. Some of you listen to her podcast. If you don't, you should. It's great. Anti-Fragile Tarot. If you search that where you listen to podcasts, you'll hear it. I did a reading for her, and the Tower came up and the Knight of Swords came up, which are like both cards that follow her around and both cards that you just never want to see. You're just like, oh God, it's this card again. And she went on Instagram and was like, I highly recommend readings with Rory from Sassafras Tarot. The Tower and the Nine of Swords were in the least stressful positions possible. And I'm like, that's an amazing testimonial. Anyway, point being, anytime you got swords, when they're acting like the suit of sorrows, it could always get worse. A little perspective can only help. Emily says, okay, thank you for showing me the cats. You are welcome. Judith is going to go to the breakout rooms on the virtual conference. Have a wonderful time, Judith. That sounds awesome. Have a great time. Okay, I know I've got a couple more people to read for. Let's see. Let's see who we got. We have Emily. I just got Emily. I got you, Ruby. Who else? Anna. I think it's just Anna and then Nariman. Tell me if I'm saying your name right, Nariman. I'm just kind of, I'm doing my best, but please correct me. Everyone, if I say your name wrong or accidentally misgender you or anything like that, please tell me. I want to know. I want to correct myself. Anna, this card is for you, my dear. After that, I got 1 card left. Thank you. This timing has been really good today. It's almost noon. Anna, you also got the Lovers today. It's funny how sometimes the same cards come up a couple times. And by the way, I'll share with you my process. I not only shuffle when I do this, I also don't tend to pull the first card on top. I tend to cut the deck and allow that to be your card. That's my process for the Witchy Weather Report, because I find that it is the best to, you know, truly get a nice random flow of cards. So anyway, the Lovers is your card, Anna. So I am going to ask you, I'm going to ask you about your commitments right now. I'm going to ask you what it is to bring that spark of, I want to say, otherness back into your commitments. And this could look like a commitment to a person. It could look like a life commitment to a calling, you know, to creativity, to something that's deeply, deeply important to you. People make big commitments to things other than each other. It could look like a person, though. And I want to ask you, when we are first in that honeymoon period of a relationship, right, where everything the other person does is magic, you know, it just feels like there's a special spark, like there's something else in the room besides you and the other person. And it's that like glittery feeling of like, wow, this is, wow, you know, like that, wow, this is so special. This person's so cool. I can't believe we're together, you know, like that energy. If that energy has felt like it's missing, what I want to tell you is it's not gone. It may have been latent due to complications. And I want to ask you if there's a way you can look at how you can recover that energy. If you can take a step back from the things that have perhaps become more humdrum, the things that have become annoying, because in every commitment, there are annoyances, right? It's just real. When we commit to a thing, we commit with our whole heart. That doesn't mean that everything about it is perfect, right? That's unrealistic. It means that we're committed, even though there are things that are friggin' annoying. And I ask you if you can try to replenish that spark of extraness. And the way we do that is the same way we replenish a fire, right? We stoke a fire, we stir it up a little bit. We maybe use one of those blower things to blow some air in it. We breathe a little bit of life back into the fire so the fire doesn't just burn down to embers and eventually ash. And so I want to ask you to show up for this thing you're deeply committed to. Breathe a little bit of life in it. Be willing to have that experience again. Be willing to get back in touch with that magic that made you first commit, because it is worth doing and it can only help at this moment. I want to share with you I've had a couple people get the same card twice, and you may have noticed that my readings are not the same. And that's where intuition comes into reading the tarot. It's not just about looking at the pretty picture on the card and telling you the meaning, although you can get pretty far with that. I'm going to tell you. I'm not telling you that's a bad way to do it. But intuition is choosing what aspect of the card to focus on, identifying what you feel called to discuss about that card, especially when, like, I've been reading since I was a teenager, so I could go on and on and on, and I sometimes do, you know what I mean? But identifying what aspect of it you really wish to focus on, that's where intuition comes in and really can help. Anna says, I wanted to get back into music after 27 years of absence. I absolutely, please do. Gosh, like, the world needs you. Please do it. And I want to invite you, instead of making it a to-do list for yourself, instead of like, okay, here's what's required, right? Because I know the endless to-do list that musicians have, especially now. Like, we've got social media, we've got all these things to do. And I want to ask you to make sure that you're making space every day for you to just experience the magic that music is, for you to just commune with your craft in a way that reminds you why it matters so much to you. Make sure you're making that space as you go through. Music has always been my first true love. I couldn't agree more. Often for me, when the lovers comes up, it doesn't mean my husband. Sorry, husband. It usually means my music. It has meant my husband. I love him too. But music for sure was my first love and my biggest, deepest commitment. It's a journey I'll be on my whole life. So I really, really understand. All right, Nariman, I'm pulling a card for you. Hope you're still tuned in. You asked about your fiance, if there is a marriage and when. You said the word fiance, so I'm assuming you're engaged and there's plans for a marriage. Let's see what the cards have to say about this topic. Okay, we have the 10 of Wands, which tells me what is standing in the way of you starting your life together and having that marriage and having that special moment, that milestone, right, of getting married, is responsibility. It looks like family responsibility, also often work responsibilities come up with the 10 of Wands. And what that means is that it's not off the table. It's not that you're not going to be able to get married and have that special time in your life. It does mean that right now, there is so much on your shoulders. And I mean that for both of you. It might feel like it's more hard on one person than the other. Like maybe someone has, a lot of family burden right now, or a lot of burden in their career right now. Right now, there's so much on your shoulders that you just need to focus on what you can do and getting through each day. Because trying to add on the wedding to that might be a little much. It might make it so that you don't get to have the special wedding that you want to have the special moment of like, now we're married and I get to enjoy being married, because you're just so overwhelmed. You're up to your ears in responsibility. So I want to ask you to be patient. 10 of Wands indicates the end of a cycle. So it indicates that you're not going to be in this space forever. You're not always going to be like, oh, are we ever getting married? There's just so much else to do. For right now, it's okay to just get by. It's okay to just do your best every day to meet the responsibilities that are coming up, because they're plentiful, to meet what has to be done. And I want you to know that when you have done that, you will be stronger together if you support each other through it. And then you will have what you really want. Then you will be freed up to have the marriage that you really want, to really make it a special moment instead of an afterthought in a horrible, busy time. And I don't know if that's what you want to hear. I have a feeling, though, when this card comes up, 10 of Wands, usually people know how overwhelmed they're feeling. So I have a feeling it's not entirely news to you. And that's the circumstances right now. It's not forever. I want to remind you, everyone that I've pulled a card for today, this too shall pass. Life is a journey. It's ever evolving, ever changing. All right. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in for the Witchy Weather Report. We will do this again next week. If this has been meaningful for you, if you've enjoyed what I have to share with you, it would mean the world to me if you threw some love in that virtual tip jar. It's Venmo at Rory Kelly. It's in my link in my bio on Instagram. It's on the screen for you if you're watching anywhere else. If you want a more in-depth reading with me, you can get it. Go to Etsy and search Sassafras Tarot. All one word. You can see the spelling of it. Wherever you are, it's in my username. That's how to spell it. And if you just want more of this, more me chatting with you and stuff like that, please consider following my podcast, Sassafras Cast. I do a deep dive on a topic every month, like witchy tips and tricks for living your best life, being your best self, and leave you with real practical, actionable ideas. So if you haven't listened, please tune in at Sassafras Cast. Anywhere fine podcasts are available. And then there's mine. I don't mean that. I think it's a good podcast. I don't know. I do my best. Thank you so much, everybody. You've been wonderful. I hope we get to do this again next week. Make sure you tune in at 11 a.m. Eastern Time, right here where you're watching. I'll be back. Farewell, farewell.